starts in 10, 9.
No way, it actually worked.
7, 6, 5, 4,
What actually worked?
3, 2, 1. Go.
Yo. Yo. I'm pretty hyped today. Pretty hyped on this freestyle. So I guess it helped when we shared and then also put a calendar invite out. We got a lot more people viewing this. Thank you for the like already. I can't see who liked it. Oh, thank you for the like. Comment on there if that was you, because I can't see it. We're ready to get out some t-shirts today. Maybe we'll give out a couple t-shirts today. We owe Freddie Kincaid one. So as long as you shoot us your address and your size, we will shoot that out to you. Welcome to Freestyle Friday.
In the building.
Over to you, Philly.
What's up? What's cracking, y'all? I'm yelling in the mic because you know what? I don't give two.
Lord have mercy.
That's right.
Lord have mercy.
Welcome. Freestyle Friday in the building. But before we get started, let's get over the pleasantries. Let me transition to my other voice. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to another edition of Unpopular Celebrities with your co-host, yours truly, Philly DC. To my right, you have Pete, P-E-T-E, a.k.a. the other co-host, engineer. You just missed the opportunity to see our other co-host, Del Brown, who is back from the belly of the beast from Kusan, Reds and Wire Open Fire. And then soon we will be joined by the sultry voice of Jessica Player. We are Unpopular Celebrities, and you are here with us for an edition of Freestyle Friday. You can talk about whatever the duck you want to talk about. Doesn't matter the topic. We're going to just vibe and have a good time today because I know y'all got a lot of to talk about. So don't be shy. Put it in the comments and let's go.
Dale said, hold on. You guys got access to the chat, so let me give you that. Pete, is your Lakers going to survive without LBJ?
Oh, he's injured?
Yeah. BJ. They don't care about that 40-year-old bum. Faith Donovan, good morning from your corner.
What?
Good morning.
What? What? Faith Donovan in the building. What's up, lady?
Oh, let me get my
Konnichiwa.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Thank you. Or it might be good evening. Oh, what happened? I thought we was bobbing.
That's my good boy.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. That's funny.
Good to see her on here.
Yeah.
Yo, so what's going on today, man? A lot of stuff to talk about during the week, man. Lots of stuff. Yo, let's start with something funny.
Okay.
Shall we?
Shall we?
All right, first rant of the night.
Sorry, I'm done. Freddie
First
Kincaid.
rant of the night. Prepare yourselves. Freddie Kincaid says he ain't hurt. He just want to watch Bryce hoop.
It's Bronny, but okay. Oh, Bryce's younger son. Go ahead. Oh,
I thought you were going to say something. Okay, let's start the first funny thing of the night. So let's start off with a little quick rant. You know what? There's no mistaking. There's no shame in my game. I'm not old. I'm a little seasoned. But, you know, I've been around the block a couple of times. And I would tell you, I don't know about you. Most of our listeners are of adult age with children. Is it me, or does it seem like young folks today want to continually want to be famous on camera? and they do anything they can to get famous. The last show we talked about the young stewardess. What's up, Tony Bostic, aka the Gooch? What's up in the building, brother? Last show we talked about the stewardess that was twerking on the airlines, right?
Right.
Well, if you catch the Breakfast Club, which they had some funny, interesting stuff. Shout out to the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne and the crew.
Prince.
They showcase the donkey of the day. And this donkey of the day was very interesting and funny. So go ahead and cue it up, Maestro.
Oh, well, see, you got to give me better intro than that. Donkey of the day.
You gotta
Did
be
you
ready.
say
Cue
donkey
it
of
up.
the day? Oh, shit. Man, I swear, I touched one thing and everything. Well, that's on him. That's on him. He'll be back on. Did he say donkey of the day? Y'all let me know. All right, hit me up. Hit me up. Hope everything is good. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Would love to if cell phones exist. All right, let me see. There we go. There. All right. I don't know what happened, man. You got kicked off. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All
hear
right.
you.
Did you say donkey of the day?
Yes.
Okay.
Donkey of the day. Yes, sir.
All right, it takes me a
Yes.
minute. Boom. And boom. And let me make sure you can see it. A lot of movement. There you go.
Okay. Y'all take a picture, or not take a picture. Y'all take a look at these three individuals. Courtesy of the Breakfast Club, this was their last donkey of the day. These five individuals of African American were charged by the Shelby County Sheriff's Office for twerking in the middle of traffic.
Oh, you can't do that.
Twerking. I repeat, these men, oldest is 22, the youngest 17. They got out their cars, went in the middle of the street, and stopped traffic twerking. What are y'all thoughts on that? Do y'all think the sheriff's office should have arrested these five gentlemen?
Arrested them for
Twerking
what? What
in
was
the
their
middle of
charge?
They were stopping traffic.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if they were stopping traffic, yeah, get the hell out of the way.
Okay, so I'm curious. For you men out there, if it was five ladies twerking, do you think you would have been upset if they got arrested?
Hell no.
Okay, double standard here. Why can't it be the same? Y'all put in the comments if y'all think these five men should have been arrested
Oh my
for
God.
twerking on the highway in traffic.
Hey, Tony B, you showing your age right now. Talking about the Freaknik. That was different.
A
That was
Freaknik.
different.
Freaknik.
So they just got out of a car and started
Yes.
twerking in the middle of traffic.
Yes.
Yeah, arrest them fools.
But you just said if it was five ladies, you wouldn't have said that.
Because I'm a man and I'm a heterosexual man. I'm a heterosexual man. See?
Yo.
Shannon said she would have stopped and watched. 100%. She said she
Who?
would have stopped and watched. Shannon, oh, you can't see the comments because I can't show you both.
Who
But
said this?
Shannon Cat.
Oh, come on. Oh, Shannon, what's up, girl? No, you can't be serious.
Said I seen it on Netflix. He's such a lie,
You-
Tony.
you
You was
can't be
there.
serious.
Don't lie, Tony. You was there. You was at the Freaknik, 100%. He said, nah, jam him up. If someone would have hurt, or killed one of them folks, they would have wanted sympathy. That's what
I
Straight
agree.
Kincaid say. All right, I'm gonna
I
get this
agree.
off the screen so you can see this.
Oh, I also failed to mention, I can't remember which one, but they told the police they were treated unfairly
For what?
because they were African American.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, so why they got them wigs on like that?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it hurt my eyes just looking at that picture.
So
Why?
Yes,
Why?
a little bit of a double standard, but I think like what Freddie Kincaid said, he said jam them up because if they would have hit someone or hurt or killed them, they would have wanted sympathy. So same thing for women folk. If women folk want to get out there and be twerking in front of traffic, I mean, you at your own risk. But arrested is kind of, I mean, so a lot of questions I have, like how long were they out there? Were they just like twerking alongside a vehicle?
No, they stopped in the middle of the road. They just walked out there and just started twerking in the street, in the middle of the street for a long time. Because remember, it wasn't like the police was already there. Somebody called the police and the police had to respond. So who knows how long it took for them to get there.
That's
and it
true.
was still in the street.
That's true. That's a good point. All good points. So
okay, on to the next one. What you got?
What do you think?
Oh, what do I think? Yeah, they deserve to be arrested. Just my whole point is just to, don't get me wrong. There are, in our day and time, there were folks that did stuff to get attention. 2C's, what's up? What did I arrive in on?
Tony B, you said they don't need to be arrested because you said it's like the Freaknik.
Hey, Tony B, Gooch, let's say you driving, I don't know what you drive, man, but let's say you driving in your Tesla or whatever car you drive.
I gotta be a Tesla.
You know what I mean? And you at the stoplight and these 5 dudes come out, they just start twerking in front of your car. What would you do?
Watch. Sit there and watch.
You sit there and watch.
Yeah. It depends how big of a rush I'm in. If I'm in a big rush, then get the hell out the way.
Nah, player. Nah. Nah, this is ridiculous. Okay, on to the next one. What you got? What you got to vent about?
Hold on. I don't really have Go ahead.
Hey, while he's doing that, hey fam, y'all in the comments, if y'all got something y'all want us to talk about, put it in the comments. Give us just a little bit of commentary and we can talk about it. Whatever you want to talk about. It's Freestyle Friday. Okay. Okay. All right. I can't see the comments. Okay.
Hold on. It's coming. There you go. Man, I need to remember that it's behind.
Throw they under the jail. They getting shot. Okay. All right.
I don't really have too much of a rant. But I will say the U.S. stock market had its best day in 2025, adding $1.3 trillion dollars. So hopefully people bought stocks and didn't sell so you can get your money. But don't really have a rant too much.
That's it.
That's really all I have. Did you see, like, you know what's crazy? I did see something crazy. Do you know Oreo has a doomsday vault that's in Norway to preserve its recipe in case society ends?
Oreo.
Like your favorite cookie.
Yeah, the cookie. That's not my favorite cookie, first off. I'm not an Oreo guy.
Oh.
Tony B says, Joe Bass just stiff punch at the... Ooh. Tony B, tell us a little bit more about this. NCAA Women's March Madness prediction.
Yes, sir. You ain't been watching the NCAA, have you?
It hasn't started yet. Go ahead. You've been watching. Tell us what you got.
Well, Duke, their star player, just got hurt. So that looks like Duke is...
I
don't know how long he's going to be out, but he's going to be out a little bit. Definitely. So it looks like people want to talk about this Joe Bass stiff punch the administration. The only thing I see from Joe Bass was that comment that she put when her website got deleted. I don't even know if it was hers, but that's the only thing I've seen from her. Did I miss something?
Somebody give us a little bit more commentary, because to Pete's point, I remember seeing a post on her page that says, you can't cover this up. You know, this is history. I'm paraphrasing, but when the administration removed a bunch of stuff off the webpage. So I did see that. Is this something else that we miss? And while you're putting that in the comments, I will tell you this whole week, there has been a double down on removing things from web pages, buildings. We talked about the other day dismantling the Black Lives Matter Plaza. Devon, what's going on, man? What's up, brother? Yo, Devon be killing people on the Airman NCO page. He's straight savage, bro. That dude's a straight savage, man. The stuff
First
he
of
be
all-
saying. Freddie says she made a comment about them deleting pictures. Ah, yeah, that's right.
How can people
Content.
look
She
up
said, how
what
can
they
people look up what they don't know exists? 2C says, that's what I believe he is talking about. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick.
Dude just beat North Carolina. Fucking bitch.
So, Pete, do you want to talk? You got something first, or you want me to go on?
Go first, because I need to look up a little bit more. And Devon is saying that he's not a savage.
No, you a straight savage. You're not a savage. You're a straight savage, bro. You be
Straight
decapitating people on the Airman.
God, decapitating. Come on,
I'm telling you, the
Singer.
stuff he be saying is so hilarious, bro. I wish I could put it up in the chat right now. It's foul. Anyway, on a serious note, before I talk about that specifically, there was a post. Who posted that? Maybe it was 2C's. Somebody posted an old post from Joe Bass back in 2024 when she was in the seat. And it was a slew of nasty comments that was directed at her. Tony B says she basically fighting against the removal of DEI. Haven't seen a SimSav outright calling an administration out. Now, Tony B, to be fair, it's a little bit easier for Joe to do that because she's not in the seat.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't take away from what she's doing. I applaud her for that. Kudos. Because I would imagine even outside of her position, it's probably got to be difficult because she's got to see these same folks at AFSA and whatever event that she joins in. But anyway, there was a post that Joe posted in 24 about a whole bunch of comments that was directed at her, saying pretty much that, calling her all kinds of evil names outside of her name, saying that she was only hired because she was a female. Hubie need to be fired. Sorry about that, lost my train of thought. But anyway, long story short, I knew there was some challenges that Joanne Bass had to go through when she was a SimSav. I knew that. But seeing that post made me realize how much of a challenge it was. You talking about the Facebook post? Oh, my bad, Shay. My bad. Shay shared it. Okay.
Let me look at.
Yeah, when I saw that post, man, it made me realize, good Lord, can you imagine going through the scrutiny she went through? Now, don't get me wrong. Some of it, I don't think she intended to be on her, but some of it was because she spoke out on a couple of things, and the people felt the need to pile on. But isn't it unfortunate? Let's just talk about women first. Isn't it unfortunate that if a woman gets a prominent position in the organization, they have to work even harder? And there are people out there that assume that she got the job because she did something that was unprofessional to get the job, not because they're more than well qualified.
So I'm looking up a little bit of the post. That post PMO pissed me off, but that's what a lot of us are in the majority male career fields deal with. Interesting. I'm catching up as we're talking about this right now. Let me check on those. Who cares? So it looks like it was a post and says she might have been in the military for 27 years, but most of them were predominantly on her back.
Those are the evil comments that was
an organization that will hire women to do a man's job. Bass or Bass. Best
you ain't gotta read every one. I mean, it's
Roughly 75% of young women and girls have faced harmful content online, with more than 1 in 10 experienced daily or almost daily. The Me Too movement. Interesting. Comes with the position. Her hiring was not controversial. Her hiring was controversial.
Conventional.
Oh, conventional. Sorry. That's where the
Scrutiny.
Yep, comes from. Tough, but you gotta own it. Yeah, I agree. For sure. And one of the most popular military forms, the Airman NCO pays beers that narrative too.
I agree. Yes. Good one, Freddie. Man, Freddie already on the ball. So I'm here. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, man. Let's hear it.
I got to get them together because impromptu, I'm kind of like Tony said, you got to own it. You got to own
what?
it. Own
what?
The scrutiny that comes with it.
No, I don't think it's that simple. I would argue.
Do you think that she okay, now that she's out, I know you're good friends with her, right? We're both good friends with her. I get it. Do you think she deserved the position? Or when she got hired, was it like, this is kind of weird?
Yes. I put like this. It was weird because it went outside from what I know, the normal, logical hiring practice. You would have figured if you go to Chief Master on the Air Force position, you're coming from the MAGCOM. And through my knowledge of my 30-some years being in, I don't recall someone outside the MAGCOM becoming Chief Master on the Air Force. However, when General Brown made that selection to pick her, I'm sure she got some support from Khalif Wright, and it was warranted. For whatever reason, they felt like she was the right choice over the rest of those other chiefs. And so for people to assume that she got hired because she's a woman, let's just say for the sake of an argument that she did get hired because she was a woman. Do you think that's wrong?
Yes.
Why?
Why would that be right? What part of that would be
Jay
correct?
Player, what's up, girl? In the house?
Oh, she's up in here? Hold on. Let me get her up on here.
He said, don't be like that. You came just in time. Rocking the shirt, you came just in time.
Hold on.
Because I would love to hear your opinion.
Damn, I gotta get her on
good.
Hold on, Jess. I gotta get you on here. Where are you
popcorn noise. I want to hear your opinion.
There you go.
Let me put on these spectacles.
She got the glasses on too. You somebody about to get roasted. Hey yo. So Jess, this is what we talking about. We talking about Joanne Bass, former Chief Master on the Air Force, putting on her Facebook post a post about them removing all the DEI stuff from pages and stuff. So she's the only SimSAF that actually spoke out against it on social media. So the debate is, I asked Pete, I said, do you think Joanne Bass was hired? Let's say if Joanne Bass was hired because she was a woman to be Chief Master on the Air Force, is that wrong? And he said yes. Pete, I'm waiting.
Y'all let me know. Hold on. That comment said, but it takes our male counterparts to not accept it and to kill the she must have to be on her back narrative.
I agree.
Amen.
Yep.
Sounds like the new Chairman Joint Chief of Staff.
What about that?
You know, I've been plugged in, obviously, but just watching from afar, I just look at it as it's a lot of chaos and confusion going on, I will admit. Now, having just taken off the uniform last year, I have always been vocal and will continue to be vocal. But I just think some people may be caught off guard by her response because you got to think about it. A lot of the stuff that is being dismantled is a part of her legacy. And when you think about the diversity and inclusion, like I had something on my page that really rocked a lot of people wrong, but I said, you got to look at the qualifications. I'm not talking about what's on paper as requirements, but when you are serving at the highest levels, you should be a form of servant leadership. So when I look at what's going on right now, absolutely, she I mean, anybody could comment, but I really do think this is where feelings come into play. Like she feels some type of way. Do I think her response was diplomatic in her efforts? Absolutely. But that's the piece with being a female and then being the highest. But we got to peel back some of that onion a little bit and understand that she was selected. She came from a numbered Air Force. She was not at a MAGCOM, right?
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So like where do we, and this is the angle that I want to go from. America's so quick right now because there's so much change going on. But in the military, we have been told for years that change is good when you uncomfortable. So now all of a sudden, because I guess what, 4 years, people were uncomfortable because we were acknowledging that people matter. Like I'm a big fan of the pronouns, and it's just not about LGBTQ. It is about me having that female name that I come from Jessie Lee Sr., Jessie Lee Jr., and I was Jessie Lee Jones. So like think about that female name Elijah or Jesse, and then we get that email that says, "Good morning, sir. Good morning." Well, first of all, I ain't no dude. I know I got a unisex name.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm torn when we talk about all these politics. And then I ain't in. So your good boy Hexeth, I just have a real problem with someone who has openly admitted to his feelings towards females. My thing is, how are you able to serve us in an inclusive perspective when you don't even believe that diversity is our strength? I will never forget, I will say it was General Colin Powell who said that our diversity is like a quilt. All of us come in differently. And when you put us together, that is what makes us strong.
Right.
When you get back to Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Bass, who previously held that seat, and I think about her comments, I read them, I will say she's not wrong. But are we looking for other people to step on the same platform to speak as she's doing? I'm going to be honest, they're not. And if we are looking for them to speak on it, that's our fault. She just left. So obviously there's still some relevancy for her to speak on these things because like I told y'all, it's her legacy being dismantled. It really is. Like I hate to say it, my damn nails being clear and a French manicure is going to stop me from going. It's really not. It's really not. And I hate to say it, but when you look at even my counterparts who I have been groomed by white males my entire career, but it took those white males to let me know like, hey, what is your real thoughts? What are you thinking? But I will always say the best leaders that I've had was those white males who step into the room and was like, hey, I come from experience and perspective that you don't. I need to understand what my blind spots are so that when I do make decisions and it's going to impact the lowest ranking person in the room who ain't got a voice, what could I have done better? Nobody right now in this administration has a damn clue of what it means to have healthy skepticism and think about anybody other than them. But I will openly admit it was so many people that said veterans for Trump. And it's so sickening and saddening to see when you go on. Homeboy, don't ask me nothing else right now, okay? We're talking. No, sir, you cannot. It's like Kevin Hart. Go put your head in your bed. Thank you. Everyone, this is J. Cole player. The last player.
Cole.
Fatality.
J. Cole.
Not even that. Let me tell you what he did. Can I play the Oculus? No, sir, you cannot. We're in Georgia. It is not.
Fatality.
J. Cole, I like that shirt though. I like the sweater. Not the Simpson joint. I like the sweater though.
Get ready.
Hey,
Not with the lines.
I want to hear. I want to hear
That's not
Pete's
within
opinion.
standard.
He's trying to get out of this. I want to hear Pete's opinion.
What?
You trying to get out of it?
Not with the line. I see the line in the hair. I see that's not within standards, but I got you. I'm just joking, Jess. I'm just joking.
Player will be a pilot for Delta Airlines, right?
Delta. You gonna be a pilot?
Tell them what your goal is.
In the Air Force.
You want to be an Air Force pilot?
Yep.
You want to fly some what? A C-130?
A jet.
He said, "What's that?"
I tell them the Air Force can only take so many players at a time. Give it a break.
Said need a minute. So, Philly, I know you want to start some controversy and beef with our listeners.
No, I'm not. I don't want you to try to skip out of this. I want to hear what you had to say. I want to hear it.
I said what I had to say.
No,
I
you
didn't
did
hear it,
not.
Wayne
Exactly.
Sharp.
You did not.
Wayne Sharp, what's good?
What's up, brother?
Pete, I really want to hear what you had to say.
Oh, for crying out loud.
He said the F-35. That's what he really wants to fly.
Yeah.
F-35.
I said what I had to say.
I didn't.
You know what?
A storm that's coming in a few hours.
You got a storm that's coming in.
Yes, sir.
Oh Lord. He trying to set you up. I know he trying to set me up, but I really he ain't. First of all,
you know what? How about you just run and you just be quiet the rest of the show? Because I see you ain't got. I'll finish what I got to say. So I see it both ways. I think the key is, first of all, kudos for Joe for speaking out, because even with her being out the seat, there still could be some impact or some consequences to her. She's still an ambassador for the position, just like all the other former chief masters on the Air Forces. So just before you got on, we were talking about the same thing you just mentioned. She was hired for the NAF, unconventional. Usually they come from the MAGCOMs. So my question to Pete was, if she got hired, not primarily, but one of the reasons why is because she was a woman, is it wrong? To which Pete said, yes. And then he stopped there. He didn't add any more commentary. Here's my piece. If she got hired, if one of the reasons why she got hired was because she's a woman, I have no issue with it. You know why? Because that's what General Brown was looking for. Maybe he wanted someone to be his wingman that was outside of the convention. We've never had a female chief master on the Air Force. She was qualified. She's been a 2-3-time command chief, well-respected throughout the Air Force. Plus, if she says, you know what, not only that, we have the waves of changes coming. And the time in the cabinet, you had President Biden, you had Vice President Kamala Harris, you had Secretary of Defense Carter. So he's like, you know what? This is good for the force. And she meets all the qualifications. I'm going to hire her. What's wrong with that? If that's what he wanted.
Who was Carter? I thought Secretary of Defense was Lloyd Austin. Am I wrong?
Oh, Austin, my bad. Austin, my bad.
Get him.
Hold on, it's not about
Pete, you just be quiet because you're a little puss anyway. You be quiet. I'm sorry, just go ahead.
Even as a female, like, I just don't like that every time, and it's media. When I say this, and even my sisters that are white female that still fall in the minority category, they are quick to say, why is it always like first Asian, first Black, first American Indian, and then female? But one of my homegirls pointed me out, like, you got to think about the lady who is now serving under President Trump. They said she's the first woman. They ain't mentioned nothing about her color, and you can go back and look at it. My thing is, she, regardless of how we feel about it, she was qualified. I like to turn the conversation and say she was qualified and she just so happened to be a woman. And I think that's the piece that a lot of people forget when you're trying to deliver a narrative. She was qualified because, like you said, it's unconventional. And, you know, DC, I respect you wholeheartedly. But I think this is where we get caught up in those stupid levels when we used to be like, oh, you got to be at the group. You got to be at the, you know, all these levels. When that happened, your argument for saying that you needed to run a group before you're pushed for a command chief, in my eyes, went out of the window, because a command chief is a command chief. Are you able to be that commander's right-hand person and make sure that their strategic message is being delivered to your entire force, not just enlisted, but the civilians and contractors as well who work for you in a unified way? And I think at the time, especially when you think about the culture, when we had Chief of Staff of the Air Force, Goldfein, you got to think about what was their message, how did they move, and then we moved into General Brown. Like, it was, I'm not gonna lie, I thought we were moving in the right perspective when you think about evolving with society. And then when you think about when we first broke barriers, when it came to integrating, that happened with the Tuskegee Airmen. And now you trying to erase history like it didn't matter. Regardless of what they're trying to remove, she will always be the first female Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. And it begs me to always go back to us in the Air Force. You wanted me to know that Esther Blake was the first woman to join on the first hour, the first day of the first minute. But what happened? You never wanted me to know about why she left. So that's the piece. It's like you put certain pieces into history for us to remember. And I think this is where we're going back to. And it made me think about Esther Blake. You championed me knowing that she was the first one, but you never told me what happened to her. I know what happened to her. She went back to Alabama and worked in the VA. That's what she did. And I knew about Esther Blake before I even joined the Air Force. But what happens to our legacy when you have these people joining and they don't know the stuff that we're trying to dismantle?
So I want to quickly, thanks for that, Jess. I want to quickly go back to Tony B's comment, which surprisingly, he agrees with Pete. He says, I'm with you, Pete. Hire her for what she do, not what she got. That's why they're dismantling DEI now. It was used against those who respect the DEI. So here's my thing. I disagree with that comment. So here's my thing. Like, when you say, here's my opinion. This is why I believe they're dismantling DEI. I think because DEI, there's a perception that DEI went so far to the right. Like, I'm talking about over the cliff, to the point where it seemed like every single thing in society was run by DEI, almost to the nth degree. You would have folks, case in point, we just showcased this show earlier, the 4 men that was twerking in the highway. And one of the first things they said when they were arrested was they were being treated unfairly because they were African American. So I think things like that, there's a certain crowd that believes that's what DEI is all about. I am all for hiring people based on their merit, but you don't have to erase history. It still matters to some people more than just race or gender or sexual orientation. When you have, all right, case in point, Bob Gaylor. He was the first security policeman who was the chief master sergeant of the Air Force. Is that DEI? So what is the big deal? You know what I'm saying? As long as folks get hired based on their experience and merit. And so back to Joe Bass, I believe she was experienced to take the job. Yeah, she wasn't MatchCom, but that doesn't mean she wasn't qualified. Sharma says, I agree with Pete to an extent. Wow, Sharma, I'm shocked.
But look what Sharma said at the end.
Meritocracy should be the basis of hiring, not demographics, although it'll always be the topic.
And that's what I mean. She was qualified, period, point blank. And that's why I always, it's how you say it, she was qualified. She just so happened to be a female. But you got to think about those other people, and let's be realistic. It was between her and Julie Gudrell. If we gonna talk about a spade, let's talk about the whole like let's just unfold it.
Oh, shit, get your popcorn, y'all.
I mean, I'm sorry, y'all can act like at the theater we watching Thriller, but this is nothing that no one in the Air Force didn't know at that time. So when you think about qualified individuals, again, the command chief description is not all inclusive, it's not secretive. Even the Chief Master Sergeant Air Force of the Air Force description isn't secretive. You get to see what they do. My thing is, back then when we were as a force, when I say we as an Air Force was looking at what was unfolding, we knew, some of us knew, it was between Chief Master Sergeant of Air Force Bass and Chief Julie Gudrell. A lot of people just felt, again, I'm going to keep using the word felt because I don't have their records, so I can't say think. A lot of people felt that Chief Gudrell was not as warm. She wasn't as inviting when it came to her
Yeah.
personality. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. She's very by the book,
Yeah.
black and white, like ain't no
Mhm.
break, no in between. When
Mhm.
you look at Chief Bass, it was like, I mean, everybody looked at her like Oprah. Like, you get a car, you get a car, you get an
Right.
opportunity. So at that
Right.
time, when you look at the culture of the force, who will be the best fit for this puzzle that we are already putting together? And that's how I looked
Right.
at it. I was like, okay, look at where we are going. It was after George Floyd. We saw that on national TV. All of us, you had so many people. And I will admit, being at Keesler, I will never forget. It was, well, now General Heather Blackwell. It was an event called Scraping the Coast. You had so many people came down, but we had black contractors outside the gate cutting the grass, and they got shot at. When they got those people, they told them that it was because they were black. These are civilian contractors that work on the base. So again, the culture that we were going through at that time, we needed to show that, hey, I believe, yes, that merit still exists, who just so happened to be a female. That's how I really feel about the situation. Because I think it was the right decision at that time when you look at who all was eligible. And you had males who were also in that position as well. It wasn't.
Yep.
It
Tony
wasn't.
Johnson,
Yep.
Dave Wade. So you had some heavy hitters, but to your point, at that time, she was the right person at the right time. I mean, you first of all, following after Khalif Wright, that's difficult in itself. And I think the Air Force, what Khalif Wright established, I think if he didn't go Joe Bass, it probably would have went the opposite way. So to keep the wave moving, she was the right choice. Now I think the way things are now, I don't think it's direct dig on her, but I can see how she can feel that way because a lot of the DI erasing, she's impacted by that too because she's the first female chief master sergeant in the Air Force. Very unfortunate.
I think we were talking
Good topic, man.
I think we were talking about two different things in this topic. Like one was if she was deserving for the position. And I don't think anybody's arguing that. But if she just got hired because of, if she got a step ahead because of her sexuality, I don't have a problem with that. When you hire somebody just off of sexuality is where I have a problem.
Yeah, you'll be hard pressed to prove that.
Sexuality when you look at the candidates that was involved.
Say it one more time, Jess.
I don't think it was just the sexuality that was involved that came down to her decision. I just don't think that. I think it was like you got to think about it. The presidency, what was going on at that time, you had a lot of, like the thing that bothers me, obviously I'm reading, I still get the military early bird brief email or whatever, but like even getting rid of or trying to transition out LGBTQ or transgender members, I'm like, the percentage is so low. And that's what your focus is. Your focus is on such a small amount of people who are doing the mission, have done the mission. And I am a woman. And I would say, like, I've had plenty of people, especially old troops that work for me, will brag in a heartbeat about going over there to get their little breast implants, because they got low self-esteem. And I mean, we're talking. I look at it in the same manner. You worried about them going to get their gender changed.
Yeah.
But so-and-so over here then got her breast lifted. Help me understand. I just think as a culture, as a force, we've had so much going on that we pick and choose which things. Somebody just said a big ass waste of time. Absolutely. We pick and choose what things are more important. But all of the impacts of all of these changes, what about the suicides that are going on? That's my big thing. I'm like, are we not really worried about the service members who are currently serving and the changes, like the speed of changes? Like, yeah, it used to be funny when your airman come in and be like, Chief, you saw this on the page. I could do this now. And I'm just like, what you talking about? I ain't seen it yet. Like they were notified, on social media before us as leaders to be able to digest it. But it's the same thing going on now. But I just worry about the pulse of the people that are currently still serving and how they're really processing all of these changes at this time. Because that's a lot. Think about the spouses who are also federal employees.
Well, the bill got signed, but I don't think anybody really can process all these changes when they come at once, and they're huge changes that affect people's lives. So I don't think anybody can process that, but you kind of do the best you can and kind of move on from it. But
no, it's not that easy to move on. I think at some
you
point
have to.
No, you don't.
This is why
I don't agree.
Let me stop this. This is why the human race survives, because we are able to evolve and move on.
No, that's not the same.
100% true. 100% true.
It's not the same.
It's 100% true. There is nothing that we
I'll put
do
like
not
this.
evolve and move on.
If you're saying that, then there's consequences behind that.
There's people.
There
that,
are collateral damage when it comes to that. Case in point, if that's the case, you could talk about when they had the Holocaust. There were consequences and there were consequences behind that. Some collateral damage, just like slavery. There was consequences and collateral damage to that. When they had different wars, there was consequences, collateral damage to that. You can't just simply move on. At some point, somebody's got to say enough is enough, and that's when change occurs. Because if that's the case, if we moved on, no one would have stepped up and said the Holocaust was wrong. Nobody would have stepped up and said racism was wrong. Nobody would have stepped up and said hiring people and restricting people from being hired because of discrimination is wrong. You can't just simply move on.
No. I'm not disagreeing. And when things are wrong, people need to move on. But just like, and I hate to say this, but follow me. Just like people who thought slavery was right, not saying it was, but just there are people that thought slavery was okay. Former presidents, former everybody that thought slavery was okay. It took somebody to come in and say, this is wrong. Either way you look at it, it's change. And we have to evolve around that change. So it doesn't matter what it is. You change, you evolve, you move on from it. The more time we spend trying to figure out why this is this, why this is that, and not figure out how to move on from it, you're going to get stuck in where you're at and going to get left behind. I see your face crinkled up. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I just feel like
I'll let Jessica respond.
Like recently, in JROTC, we talked to our kids about all this stuff. And we were talking about, just like I told them, being a minority, people be quick to write off all the presidents from the past because slavery did exist. But when you take a step back and look at it, like if I truly want to dissect and say, I do believe that I was part of we the people, regardless of decisions, behaviors, and actions back then. I would honestly say the first president, George Washington, was actually the best. When you go back and read, for somebody to have served as a general and take that away, look at, I am going to be the first president of the United States of America, and try his best to insert healthy skepticism to say, hey, if I do this, this is what could happen. But he was laying the foundation for what the rest of the president should be. Mm-hmm. When you go back and read and you see that Jackson and Hamilton, I want to say, are the two that could not get along. Mm-hmm. Washington was okay with having them two in the room around him, not getting along because he wanted people who did not think alike him. Mm-hmm. I use George Washington with my students a lot because I said, right now, we don't have that. We have someone who is currently in our administration or serving at the highest level where if you do not get along with him, mm-hmm. you're gone. That is not the way to lead for all of us when you consider that umbrella as we the people. To even consider that birthright. You have so many people, like even where I work, kids they'll skip school if they think that ISIS is coming. But when you're trying to break this down for people that they were sold on a dream that said home of the brave, land of the free, I get an opportunity here. But all of that has just been, like I told you, nixed because we've forgotten. I think for him to be as quick as he is with the executive orders and not take a step back to even consider Congress or Senate, that bothers me most because these are the people that's supposed to be representing us, regardless of their political affiliation. They are still Republicans and Democrats and liberals who represent us. But I don't even believe or think that you as the president, trust their word. So I just wonder, like, when would they step up and be like, hey, our people voted us in to represent our districts, our states, our cities. We need a voice. But that's why I just feel like we are leading to a true dictatorship. Like, it just,
But
what
just
happened to that?
a lot of these people aren't going to put their own jobs and their own livelihood and how they feed their own family on the line for other people, even though it's what we voted them to do. They're not going to do that. Some are not going to do that. And the ones, to your point, the ones that try to, they get nixed before we even hear about it. So it's like, shit, I just saw my boy get nixed for trying to go against it. Let me play on the right side and then figure out, maybe when to insert myself and say, man, this ain't the right call. But it is unfortunate that you have somebody that is using what every president could have used, and he's just actually the one doing it. It's a shame, but all of them could have done it. All of them could have done it.
Think what the old folks say. My grandma used to be like, just because you can doesn't mean you
should.
Like, and that's that again. Where's the humility in serving? Again, you're serving in the highest office of our nation.
Oh man, somebody bringing out the Bible. Goodness gracious. It's considered drunken, but oh no. This is what happens. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes it happens. I didn't kick him out. I'm gonna let him right back in. Sometimes this happens. I don't know why this does that. It's not me. It's not me. Oh, I switched him. God, dog, I gotta switch that right back.
David said, hey, Noah from the Bible was considered a drunkard, but doesn't omit the great accomplishment he did. Amen. But that's just like Judas. Judas was the biggest backstabbing person ever. Like, even when you think about those things, and David, you bring up a good point. You look at some people who are loyal to a fault. That's all I'm asking. Like right now, I just think when it comes to political parties, some people are just too loyal to a fault to take a step back. And David, you use the Bible, so I'm gonna go there. So like, if you're looking at it from that perspective, I just don't understand, like, go all the way. We're not in a position to judge. I will be judged as an individual based off of my actions, decisions, and behaviors. Speaking for Jessica, are they pleasing in Allah's eyes? But that's the piece that I just don't think a lot of people will consider at the end of the day. It's like, I got to do this regardless. But it's like, are you still meaning the intent of what they say, like honor thy neighbor? If, that is your religion. But it's mind-blowing to see that we don't consider like a person, their humanity right now. That's all I'm concerned about.
Yeah, I think in the end, there is, I guess another way to look at it is going quickly back to the transgender piece with the military personnel. Like, obviously, I'm against that because I think it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is. If you're willing to defend this country, you should be given that right to do that.
100%.
However, I think going back to the DEI piece, and a perception of some folks in different crowds when it comes to DEI. You hear this term woke, military's woke. There have been cases of folks who were going through transition, getting operations, and they were labeled they couldn't deploy because they were still going through operation, and someone else had to take their place to deploy. So you had cases like that. I think there's still ways you can navigate that. Like case in point now, there was a policy letter that was put out about a week or two ago or something that said that if you have special skills and talents and you can prove that you're not going through what they call gender dysphoria, then you can stay. But if not that, then you have to go. So the way I look at it is if you're a transgender and you want to defend your country, you should be allowed to. I don't even know why we're even going down that road. But there should be not any specific or special conditions that will prevent you from deploying. You should get the same type of opportunity to do or execute your job just like everyone else. And then as far as the immigration piece, there's some problems with immigration in our country. So I am happy that we are addressing that. It's just the way we're doing it. And it's just like the government. Can we all agree that the government is spending too much money? There's some waste in the government. You could probably argue that. It's just the way it's being executed. I think one of my friends used an analogy of you had Elon Musk with the chainsaw, but instead of a chainsaw, there should be a surgical incision into the government. And if he would have came out and said, hey, look, guys, the government is spending too much money. Here's our way we're going to get after it. And you know what's coming. You may not like it, but at least you know. But it's like stuff that happens every day. You don't even know what's going on. Olivia says, how many people is that? I feel like being medical is ultra small. People get out of deployments for this, that, and the other thing before legit medical condition. Okay, I agree. Small amount, but it happens. Olivia also says this, and how much money will kicking them out cost? Now, I don't think it's the money, it's how much it gets saved. Tony Bostic says, if you have a medical issue that deters you from being an effective warfighter, you shouldn't wear the uniform. Exactly. But I think you should still be given the opportunity to serve.
Correct, because you got to think about like some of us, and this is the piece that just blows my mind. We go through basic training like an assembly line. Then after years of deployments or TDYs, all them shots and injections, it triggers things that are not compatible for your genetics. I will never forget when I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, trying to deploy. And you on a shot. But yeah, I'm on this shot because y'all done pumped me up with all this other medicine. Nobody in my family has ever had this. But to see that they were willing to kick me out, something that I occurred in the military, all because I couldn't deploy with a shot, but there were other medical medicines that they could have gave me. I'm very leery when we talk about medical conditions, especially when we get them in the military, because half of the stuff that we get, and I'm only speaking from my father-in-law when he died, Vietnam vet, it took the VA the week that he died to come back and say that his stuff was linked to when he was deployed. So all I'm saying is we have to be very careful when we talk about these medical conditions and the ability for someone to serve. Did you afford me enough time to give me continuity of care before you push me back out there to say whether or not I'm deployment eligible? Because that's another piece we don't get right on the medical side. We got some medical professionals who they love their job and they willing to get down to the root to determine what's wrong with a service member. But then you got some that will sit right there in front of you and Google on WebMD and then want to put something in and push.
I don't know why it does that. I have no idea why it does that. It's very frustrating.
What were you trying to do?
Sorry, Jess.
He just kicked me out.
I didn't do it. I swear I'm
Welcome to my world.
This is crazy. I'm not touching a thing. There was a lot of comments around this. Shay, you keep saying 4,500 members. Are you talking about women in the branch?
No, he's talking about, I think she's talking about transgender.
Oh, transgender. Okay. I'm sorry. And then you said your thing is, when will we target those with anxiety, depression, and sleep apnea?
But again, those are medical conditions. Right. I'm glad he's bringing them up because some of that stuff is induced from your military. It is induced from the environment. Anxiety is induced from your environment.
Right.
Personal or professional.
Let me ask a question then. In the comments, they mentioned anxiety, depression, sleep apnea.
Right.
Are those medical conditions that could prevent you from potentially deploying selected or chosen from folks?
DC, get that real quick.
Charles Davis says, DC, could you give your perspective to my question? I believe we are saying the transgender that can deploy is far smaller than those who duck for lame reasons and get out of deployments. I agree. All I'm saying is hear me out. And I was trying to get to that point. When we mention sleep apnea, depression, anxiety, broken ankle, bad hip, headaches, all the things that prevent people from deploying, all those things that folks use that, like they selected, like say, you know what, I'm going to get depression or I'm going to get sleep apnea.
Right.
My point is for folks who, okay, let me put it this way, two types. If you have someone that gets diagnosed from a mental health provider, they have gender dysphoria, then they have a choice, whether they want to transition or not. But that is a choice, is it not?
I agree. It's choice. Yeah.
So when you say sleep apnea, anxiety, depression, headaches, those are not choices.
Okay.
Those are inflictions that are placed upon an individual with no control. Versus when you get diagnosed with gender dysphoria, you have a choice. And then I would argue there are probably some, I don't know how many. There are some who's probably not diagnosed and chose to transition because they feel they're in the wrong. In other words, they male, they want to be female, and vice versa. That's all I'm saying. Tony Bostic says exactly. Those are paying for their transition, not covered by TRICARE, are only non-deployable during their procedural healing time. True, but there are people, and I've witnessed it, that had to deploy because somebody was going through transition. And if you don't believe me, that's part of the narrative this administration is using for transgender. That's all I'm saying. In the end, you should be able to serve your country, but without condition. Shay says, after they are off their profile, they are deployable. I know this from experience. That's true. And I'm not debating that. I'm just saying when they are on their profile, and it is a decision that person makes. That's all I'm saying.
So
I just asked that question.
Let me ask you directly. You're saying if somebody elects to be a transgender, that is their decision. And during the process, they are non-deployable. They shouldn't be in the military anymore.
No, I'm not saying that. Okay. I think that's part of the issue, not the whole, but part of the issue for pushing transgender out of the military.
Is that the same thing as somebody getting an elective surgery?
So case in point, the procedure, doesn't the military pay for the procedure?
I believe so.
Not only that, again, it goes back to choice. You may be diagnosed with gender dysphoria, but you still have a decision to make. Now, I am not a doctor. Now, if a doctor says, in order for this member to function safely or properly, they must have this operation, and that's different. And I'm not privy to that. But if not, it is not the same as sleep apnea or anxiety or migraines or broken ankle. It's not the same. That's all I'm saying. Tony Bostic says, is it like getting my knee scoped? I don't even know what knee scoped is. What does
like
that
when
mean?
you knee, you like clean out your knee. Like if you got
cartilage or something. God, that sounds painful.
I mean,
Wayne Sharp says not anymore.
I deploy way more people with flat feet. I mean, true. Yeah, and see, this is what I think everybody's talking about is a procedure is a procedure. It doesn't matter. Like if you constitute on one person's procedure, you have to be that way off of, like, so if I get elective surgery, say I got hip pain and they're saying, you know what, you got a hip impingement. It's not stopping you from deploying, but if you get surgery to fix the hip impingement, it will stop you because you have to recover. So you're saying if I do the same thing, even though it's an elective surgery, I have to get removed from the military?
So can I say this? When you talk about gender dysphoria, it is like, it's the inner self. And I wish we had a member that was transgender right now.
Right.
That can speak on their experience. But it's the internal sense of you feeling like discomfort that you are just not your sex. So like I may have been born female, but internally, I sense discomfort with that and more comfort with being a male. Like there's a mismatch somewhere. That is the textbook reasoning of why you have the definition of gender dysphoria, where you have that person. So that's why they say they have to get diagnosed with it. They go through, the medical process. I just don't like the word of saying that it's an elective surgery, because if a medical physician has already deemed that this person meets this criteria, who are we to say that they don't meet the criteria and they can't go with the process? I think that's where I'm having conflict in it, because it's like, I think Olivia said it. She was like, I didn't choose to get my
anxiety, depression.
And she's right. Like, I have to look, and maybe because I went through equal opportunity school, I used to be equal opportunity, but I am looking at it from that lens. It's like, if this person has been diagnosed with this is bringing discomfort to them. I think that is why we started to do that, because it was almost like, let me make this person whole. By them becoming whole, by going through this transition, will offer a sense of happiness, a sense of belongingness. And I look at it just like, don't shoot me, Pete, but I'm one of those females that I agree with the beards. I don't care what your ethnicity is, but as a man, I do think that you coming up in my office, bumpy face, bloody, that impacts your self-esteem.
Right.
I mean,
I agree.
100. So I look at it in the same manner. This is impacting this person's self-esteem. I've had service members under me who were male, transitioning to female, and I would get questions all the time. I'm like, mind your business. Go stay moisturized and go get hydrated yourself. Leave the member alone. That's my member. I'm for real.
But
like, those are the things where it's like, it's hard to explain, especially when it conflicts with your personal values. And I think that's the biggest piece. It's hard to understand something that conflicts with your personal values. It really is.
DC, go ahead. I see you got a lot to say.
All right. So before I forget, I am 50-50 with beards, and we can go down that road if we like. But let me make it clear.
You got another question.
I don't have an issue with someone getting diagnosed with gender dysphoria and wanting to have the operation. Someone mentioned it in the comments. If you choose to have the operation, do it when you're not on your deployment ban. And I'm fine with it.
Right.
And I'm not privy to it, but if there is something in the military medical AFI that says, if you are diagnosed with gender dysphoria, you must or can have the operation. I'm assuming it is because the military pays for it. Wayne says they don't anymore. That I'm not sure about. But if it is authorized, which I will again say that is one of the things this current administration is using, Peter Hegseth from who was that? Gates. Oh, that guy. Anyway, one of the ones that said like, oh, they're paying for transition and blah, blah, blah. And if you remember, the president said there is no longer more than two genders. There's only two genders.
Right.
So there is a large crowd. Another group that believes there's no such thing as transgender. I don't subscribe to that. I don't agree with that. Charles Davis says, DC, I have a rhetorical question. Couldn't there be a special consideration for transgender when there's special consideration? I agree. And it kind of goes, I'll say this and I'll be quiet. It goes back to what Pete said, and I'm not trying to throw a dig at you. Maybe I am.
You are.
When you said you adapt, you just got to learn to adapt or evolve. I don't think it's not that simple, because you have folks that seeing people get transitioned out that are transgender, and it impacts them. No different than federal employees getting dismissed. I'm not a federal employee, but I got people in my formation who are getting fired. And it's difficult for me to just sit back and say nothing. Olivia said, is it any different than allowing people of the same sex when they got a permissive TDY to get married? But I didn't. Coming from Turkey to Barksdale, like it's never going to be inclusive and all fair.
I agree. It's never.
Yeah, if anything, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I understand what Olivia is saying, but I think the only reason that rule existed was because of the states. Certain states did not allow, service members to get married, or they would acknowledge their marriage in order for them to have the joint spouse assignments. So I can understand where she's coming from, but two, that's the reason why they did it, was to afford them that opportunity to go get married in a state that recognized their marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, you know, when we marry the opposite sex, we can get married anywhere.
Yeah.
And DC, I don't want to say it like it's easy to adapt, right? But you have to do it. The more time you spend in trying to bust your head on a wall and figure out why things are like this, the harder it's going to be to adapt to it. So have your pity party or whatever you want to call it, be upset, bang your head on the wall at the issue, whatever the issue is, but you have to learn how to move through it, around it, or over it. You have
I choose to move through it.
That's
through
fine.
What did the late John Lewis said? Good trouble? Is that what he said?
That's fine.
Yeah, I'd rather move through it that way. That's what we need, good trouble.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll move
And
through
I
it.
think that's what Joanne Bass is doing. Good trouble. That's a
But
good example.
Just
Good
know there's
trouble.
going to might be broken bones with it, might be scarring, might be cuts.
Hey, that's how bones get repaired and grow.
So exactly. So yeah. I totally agree.
It's just we gotta be. Now I agree with you. You gotta be strategic at the same time. But if you don't mind, let's quickly transition to the beards.
All right, one
I would
more,
love to
and then
do
we gotta
that.
go.
I would love to talk about that one.
Go ahead.
So I wanted you to put that graphic up
Oh
of
yeah,
the
I got
two
you.
Marines, because Jess, you got friends that are Marines, right? You know Marines, correct?
Yes.
Do you know any Marines with a beard?
I don't, but let's be realistic. Marines don't even identify what their job is. When
That's
you
very
ask,
true. That's very true.
so don't even put us in that same bucket
That's
with
very true.
a Marine is a Marine is a Marine. You will never hear them say what their job is, like none of that.
I love it too. I love that. That's what we need to do. But this graphic that Pete's showing, I don't think you can see the caption, but it says Marines with skin condition affecting mostly Black men could now be booted under new policy. So basically what it's saying is the interim guidance issued Thursday, courtesy of military.com, mind you. It gives military healthcare providers 90 days to reevaluate Marines diagnosed with pseudofolculitis barbae, or PFB. If they don't recover based on a 4-phase treatment program outlined in the message, have to remain on the shaving weight for more than a year, and the commander deems it fit, the Corps can administratively separate them due to incompatibility with service. Love to hear your thoughts on this one.
First one, Tony Bosick said, "What's wrong with that?"
Of what? Marine? What's wrong with what?
Yeah, I think he's saying what's wrong with Marines being able to get kicked out for not having the beard or having a beard. So it says truth.
Hey, Tony, you can clarify for us.
It looks like it's saying troops with skin conditions that cause pain and scarring from shaving are mainly affected. Black men can be separated. So basically they're saying if you can't shave, you can't be in the military. Is that what I'm getting?
Marines, yeah.
Yeah, for the Marines. So if that's the rules, that's the rule. Hey, my whole thing is, this gets me so frustrated and fired up. If you know the rules to the game and you don't want to play by the rules, don't join the game.
But
now, if these rules get changed in the middle, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's what I was going to say, but I'm already. So that's, again, that is and I won't even, the thing that bothered me with that article is that you said Black men. I know plenty of men who are not Black that have coarse hair, baby. I'm going to need them to go back and look at genetics.
True.
It's some men that are not Black that got some coarse curly hair. So again, I just don't understand why the beard, like you told us for years it was because of the seal of the gas mask. Then people were able to prove that it wasn't. I just don't understand, like, keeping it above. You gave ponytails after years of women having receding hairlines. You did not care then. So then all of a sudden you were allowing females to wear ponytails when the German Air Force were already wearing ponytails. Like, they barely wear a hat. But now all of a sudden with the beards, you're saying that a Black man, according to that article, if they cannot get in line after 4 treatments, they're going to be administratively kicked out. So if I'm 16, 17, 18 years in, and I've had these waivers the whole time to help me perform the mission, I just don't understand, why is it a problem now?
Here's my thing. It's like the NBA. and I hate. I know y'all have to follow me on this because it's not the same, but it's the same. People say that. I think Quincy Johnson said we keep changing rules. Everybody changed the rules. The NBA had a dress code policy that Allen Iverson implemented, where it says you can't come to the NBA like this. So if you don't want to wear those clothes, you can't play here. It's very, very simple. And it sucks. So if they were to tell us, hey, you have to shave your face. Jess, I agree to where you're at with if you're coming in here bloody, bumpy, and looking crazy, that does affect your mental health, but you just have to learn how to shave better. I also agree with what Charles Davis said. Just implement use of
Fatality.
on your clippers and call it a day. Like, this whole thing is like, if you don't like playing the game, either make a game that you can play, change your own rules. I mean, own your own business and be happy, and then you can change whatever rules you want. But while you play with another man's or woman's rules, you have to play that game. If you don't like it, quit. I know you can't really quit, but if you don't like it, get out. I'm done. I'm off my rant. Sorry. I know I'm going to get ate up in the comments, so...
It's okay. You just know I don't play the game, so I'm just trying to figure out.
But Jess, you do, because so if they never said ponytail, you have never put your hair in a ponytail until ponytails got authorized, correct?
Oh, baby, I would tell you I got ate up real quick on that page because I ain't put my hair in no ponytail. I had it slide to the side.
No. When you were a young airman, you couldn't have your hair in a ponytail. You never put your hair in a ponytail.
At my retirement, you heard.
No, not your retirement. Not your retirement. I'm saying when you were a young airman.
That woman told you at my first base.
Yeah, I know.
My hair. Like, I would have them braids just like them girls now, walking around here with a damn bird's nest on my back until somebody checked me and was like, hey, you know you can't put your hat on your head. Go take them braids down. But it only took that one time.
That's
I would go just.
And I'm good with that. So somebody corrected you. You went ahead and conformed to how you need to be conformed to stay in the game. Oh, God. This ain't me. I promise it's not me. This is crazy. This is not me. I'm not touching anything. Oh, shit. I ain't got Jess on. Hold on.
Lord.
Oh, no. Oh, Jess really got kicked off. Shoot. Where's she at? Dang, where'd she go? I can't get her back in at all. Jess, come back. Jess, come back.
I guess you value her opinion.
Damn, I can't get her back in.
Well, while she's gone, I will add my commentary to it while you're trying to figure it out. I am 50-50 for beards. And if I had to decide, if somebody said decide right now, I would say no, beards. And here's why. Oh, let me just finish her comment.
Okay, sorry, Jess. Hold on. I'm bringing you in. Hold on.
Figure out what you need. He sent me into La La Land.
the nether zone.
I wonder why don't do that for me.
I wonder why, because you running the boards.
She say you being shut down by those. All right, go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry.
Fishing.
Can't skip me.
What is be in sweats and swims at the games now? I mean, yeah. But like, Pete, don't get me wrong. Do I believe in standards? Yes. But the thing, like, I used to tell my people when I was serving, and now I tell my cadets, go look up what does a professional image look like. And I want you to click on images, and I want you to see who looks like you.
Oh, we can put that up right now.
Yeah, go look it up. And again, the societal norms, like this is where we feel like, yes, we are the military. Yes, we are the 1% that serves. But how do you continuously have that recruitment and retention being met? I think those are the two important things. How can I continuously be in a position? Not that, because it looked like he picking his nose.
Sorry.
So look at all those pictures. You put professional image, right?
Yeah.
They have beards. She got a low haircut. What else you got? Most of them AI figures, though, because I don't see now a real person.
Pete, first of all, you messed up. You should have put military.
Okay.
Professional appearance.
Well, I didn't mess up. I mean, it can be corrected.
That's a big
Goodness
difference.
gracious.
There you go.
You got the bob, you got the clean cut. Who's that chief
I
right
don't
there?
see
Right.
that's she. I don't see any beards anywhere yet.
That's true.
Hold
don't
on,
see
click.
any
Look what the
beard.
dates are. Let's look at some of the dates.
I don't know how to bring up the dates.
I mean, it.
There go one.
Don't
Anyway,
like
I'll
Maybe
wait.
dude.
I'll
media
wait.
just going with the image. You better dig.
Yeah,
It's maybe.
yeah, I don't see a beard. I see a mustache.
Yep, you see a mustache.
Yeah, which is
Well,
common.
these,
Yeah.
come on now, let's be realistic. The higher you are, and Wayne Sharp, tap into these comments too.
Whoa.
Y'all have been in the era where you have not seen it done. I'm gonna call out Braceley in a minute.
Don't get Uncle here. Oh Lord.
Oh,
I see him off there at work. Oh Lord. Don't get him started
Hey,
in.
I
Please
don't
don't
see
call.
any beards. Hold on.
So I saw him last weekend at Dion Taylor's retirement. I was like, oh, he done cut that beard off. So again, but what I am saying is, for the longest, you did have males at senior and chief who did not have a beard. Then we started getting a wave when it was allowed. They started wearing their beards to show I'm always a believer. If they see the higher ranking do it because it is allowed, they're going to do it. However, in our culture in the military, we do have a tendency to go too far. I'm going to just call it what it is. We go too far. I will admit, I was one of them people, especially with my nails. I'm like, girl, here's my ruler. This is how far I could take this nail. I'm going to need you to take that nail that far. So same thing with hair. He said, what is casual to y'all? In what essence, Wayne?
Hold on.
She says, sure, but the people who haven't seen it done are the top leaders. A 30 years of serviceman who has shaved won't allow it. You're right.
Agree.
She's right.
Mm-hmm. And this is why, to your point, you need different perspectives in the room.
Yes.
But they need to be people that are well articulated, can speak very, very well, and not emotional with their opinions. My chief will judge my captain for having a waiver. Oh, DC, that's your shit right there, the waiver stuff.
How's that my stuff? What are you talking about?
You or are you saying that you got rid of your waiver? Didn't you get rid of your waiver when you made senior?
So I got rid of my waiver because the master said I didn't know. You gotta look at it. It was a different time. I think it was, good Lord, 2009, 10. So here's the thing. This is my thoughts.
Because
I am against. I put it like this: you should only get a waiver if you really need it, and if so, it should be no more than an eighth of an inch.
Mm-hmm.
It should be 5 o'clock shadow, like what I have now. I could rub my hand across my face, you hear stubble.
Don't let
it should be no more than that. And here's why. To Jess's point, here's all right. Let me focus because I'm getting all over the place. For those who are for beards, you folks who are a part of the DoD Beard Initiative, I hope y'all listen to this podcast. Here's where y'all went wrong. Number one, you're trying to make the justification for the Air Force to have beards based on the fact other services have them. They don't care about that. And just because other services have them doesn't mean we need to have them. How long has the military been around? The Air Force has been around since 1947. Mm-hmm. And they have not allowed everyone to have a beard. And we still been effective. Now, I know some of y'all is going to turn around and say, well, DC, there's nothing that says we can't be effective with a beard. Got it. That's true. But just because other services have it doesn't mean we should have it. Number two, instead of focusing on having it because other services have it, what you should have focused on of medical benefit. And even if you do that, it's going to be difficult for folks to justify that everybody needs it for medical purposes.
You're right.
I am, you know how they had that commercial? Not only do I advocate Hair Club for men, I'm also a client. I had to shave my waiver until I was a master sergeant.
Look at
Master sergeant said, yo, y'all can flame me all y'all want. I don't care.
Your description is crazy, not the Hair Club.
I'm just
for
waiting.
men.
I'm going to wait.
Are they sponsoring us now?
Go ahead. The hair club for men is crazy.
Hold on.
Anyway,
If you have one for women, let me stop because I don't want Tony to jump on it on this podcast. So, me, Tony, I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead. Hurry.
Okay. All right. As I was saying,
Spaceport,
I had one that was a mass sergeant to this female mass sergeant said, I didn't know mass sergeants had shaving waivers. So I stopped having one. But here's the thing. I won't say I learned how to shave. I won't say that. Let's just say I learned what works for me. And to this day, I don't cleanly shave. I don't use a razor. I use clippers. It takes me about an hour to get ready for work. I use 2 sets of clippers. I use a trimmer to trim the small hairs and another shaver. And it is a pain in the ass. But I choose to do it. Could I go get a shaving waiver? I could. I could easily, well, maybe not now because it's a little bit more restricted. But my argument is there are folks out there who really don't need a shaving waiver. Maybe for a short time till they learn what works for their skin.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are some people, no matter what you do, they're going to have a breakout. And for those folks, they need a waiver. So I am against them saying everyone should have a waiver. Manscaping haters. I'm against that. Waivers only if you need it. Sharma, let's see. Shay says, Sharma Haynes, girl, I work with them and I'm sick of it. Huh? They have watches, huh? What are they talking about?
Oh my goodness. That was talking about Space Force doesn't have a fit test. They have watches. You're crazy. DC, I got you. I got you.
Talking about the medical aspect. So have they commented on the religious accommodations?
I would tell you, I'm against that too.
Why?
For a number of reasons. One, like, here's the thing.
Oh, that's expensive.
When you have the military, right? If you go into Apple or you fill in the organization blank, and it said, in order for you to work for this company and have 6 figures, you have to shave or you have to have this certain dress and appearance. You have a choice.
That's what I
You
said.
could either still interview and get the job and conform or say, hey, hell no, that's not for me, right?
All right.
So it's the same for the military. I, being a Christian, I cannot wear a cross outside my t-shirt. You know why? Right now is unauthorized.
Mm-hmm.
But does that mean I'm not a Christian? No,
I mean, I agree
Christian.
because I didn't have one and I used to always get asked. They were like, well, you say that you're a practicing Muslim, but you don't ever cover. I remember one time I covered with my kids. We were in Wetumpka, Alabama, after President Trump got elected the first time. And we were followed. And I'm like, to see my kids be worried or the comments that we receive. And I'm just like, I'm born and raised in Alabama. Just because I decided to convert over does not mean I am not an American. But it shocked me so much that I'm just like, I had to talk to the DOD of mine, Chaplain Shabazz, and he's like, look, at the end of the day, God knows your heart. He was like, everything you do better be pleasing in his eyes. So that's why I never was one of those ones to be like, let me go write my accommodation so I can wear my hijab. It was never that issue. And that's why I was so mindful of how I moved. Like, I used to tell the DOD of mine all the time. I was like, look, I cuss a lot. I'm trying my best to work on that. But anything else, nobody can ever say that I was malicious intent or I did not speak towards what I was supposed to do according to the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the piece, like you said, like, I know that I took an oath to serve at this time. And me and the DOD of mine used to talk about that all the time because that is hard when you are serving and sometimes you perceive your religion conflicts with the duties that are being requested of you.
Right. And like Olivia said,
but my question is, where do we stop? You know, like it's gotten to a point. Can we say there is a possibility? Can we say there's a possibility that you did cuss a lot? Who cussed a lot?
Talking about Jess be cussing a lot.
I admit my flaws. I'm not I am perfectly imperfect, sir.
Go ahead, Philly.
But can we say there is a possibility if Sergeant Counsel saw Peterson have a religious accommodation, and now, especially now, the way beards are being scrutinized, I no longer can have my beard.
Mhm.
But Pete has a religious accommodation for being, I don't know, fill in the blank, let's say an atheist. And I decide now I'm going to be an atheist. And then all of a sudden I have a religious accommodation. Where does it stop?
That's an integrity piece that we all hope that people have. So that's really what you're putting in question is somebody's integrity.
So no, it's not just that. My point is, can we assume that the current administration, be it the White House or the DOD, feels like beards are not considered professional image?
It seems like that. I'll say
Right?
it seems like that. Yeah.
So my thing is, why put a heavier restriction on shaving waivers, but not religious accommodations, where folks have an even larger beard? Why not just do it across the board? Because I would tell you, if I was a person with a shaving waiver, and now you're telling me I can't have it for 5 years, and I have to get it evaluated every 30 or 60 or 90 days, and then you take my beard because you feel like I can shave, I'm going to be a little irritated with the folks who's got a religious accommodation that can wear a beard.
And
But
that's
then-
why Sharma says
About
religious
law,
accommodation.
though.
Huh?
But when you get into that, you're talking about law.
Yeah, that's true.
Equal, like that's why it blew my mind. I want to say back in 2009, 2010, when they wanted to put diversity and inclusion in the equal opportunity offices. We did not have enough manpower when they did the manpower study, and we did not do diversity and inclusion. So it was just still strict. We didn't do it back then. They did not allow us to put it in our career field. So years later, to see it actually evolve and then became its own entity, it is interesting. But religious accommodation is some that they will always have an option to go to the EO office and file. If they feel that they're discriminated against based off their religion because they choose to practice their religion. And I agree with you. Where's the pendulum? But we got to be realistic. The pendulum right now is being swung on both extremes. There's no in between. So that's where we got to figure out, like you said, who's going to be those leaders in those spaces. What did Tony say? So we obviously have an integrity issue when the gay Jack looks like a genuine backup dancer.
Fatality.
That's a good one.
I must have missed
Don't
that.
look at no more Tubi. No more.
Yeah, I must have missed that. But do we know the
Charles, it's a little bit different. I see folks say that, well, beards are not professional. How come the
That's a good
vice
point.
president have one? That's different.
That's a good point.
He is not in military uniform.
That's a good point, though.
different.
That's a good point, though.
Low
Well,
ranking.
you can go, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, there's a lot of things you can say that our leaders do or have done, but we don't get to do. Let's not go down that road.
That's a good
But
point.
just
too.
because the vice president have a beard don't mean, anyway, I'm sorry.
So I had to break that down to a group of people. They were like, well, why you say, I said, let me hear, when I say lower ranking, I'm just trying to help you understand. Homeboy did one enlistment. So when you on that one enlistment, for real, you learning. So that's why I said, like, you in that phase where you could be like, I can push the envelope, I'm learning. And my ex-husband, Tony, told me this. He was like,
I'm sorry, I
whenever you
missed that
get
one.
out at a certain rank, sometimes, to your point, Pete, when you don't evolve, you
Uh-huh.
get stuck in that rank.
That's right.
He said, you do. If you don't evolve, you get stuck at that rank, that mentality, that mindset.
Right.
That's where you go at. That's where y'all be
Dang.
people right now.
Interesting.
These comments are fiery.
I like the vice president thing. I never thought about that. But back to your point, DC, he's not in the military no more. And what Shay says, when he was in the military, he said he was cleanly shaved. So, yeah. I mean, back to
I just
what
want to
said.
add one more thing.
He's playing a game now where the rule says he can have a beard. So he can have a beard. I mean,
I just want to add one thing. Jess mentioned earlier
Leaders are-
about, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jess. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just telling Pete, I said he need to continue reading then, because when world leaders are amongst the room, I've never seen a VP speak.
That's a good point too.
That
was crazy. That was the craziest.
Like, they could talk about Grandpa Biden because he was asleep most of the time when he was. he never spoke.
Hey,
That's true.
Pete, did the disclaimer come out on the open? Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. Thank the Lord. And all you guys in the comments putting this stuff up here, thank God the disclaimer's on there. We will black out your name later because you've got to go back to work Monday. Thank God.
So stupid.
Oh, we did say this is Freestyle Friday, but damn, y'all.
You be started. You be the ringleader of it. But
for those who don't normally listen to our podcast, don't read the comments later. Just go past that. Go past that. Go beyond that.
Olivia, Tony, and Charles and Murphy, they got us started tonight.
That's for real.
Charles Robertson, Charles Dotson.
Who the hell is that?
I'm trying to use different, Tony Robinson.
What you
John Bostic. No, I was going to quickly say to Jess's point about, okay, I'm getting off now. I'm not even going to say that one. I ain't going to say that.
Charles, maybe come back to dying.
Okay, all right.
Olivia, we don't want you in trouble no more.
Right.
Not because of the show.
All right.
We don't make enough money for y'all to be in trouble.
Yes. The views and opinions
I'll give you a weekend retreat.
of this show does not reflect on those that are hard show. And it doesn't reflect the Department of Defense.
Hold on, we'll play the intro real quick.
Yeah, play it.
Unpopular Celebrities Podcast is all unofficial. None of the conversations or comments from us or guests represent DOD or the armed forces.
It's like, if you don't want to be here, if you don't want to be in the military because you can't wear a beard, then it is what it is. I guess you got a decision to make. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean it's fair. No. But when people say, it's not fair, whatever, these status of readiness reviews and all this other stuff. Somebody made a comment on the Airman NCO page, said it was a maintainer. The PA was taking video, and he claims the PA kept trying to go around him. And he said, well, why are you not keeping me in frame? He said, because I'm trying to avoid the beard. My leadership said, make sure there's no beards in the video.
Okay.
And I'm like, I went on Facebook. I said, what's the name of your base and the person? I want to know.
Stay out of it.
No, I want to know. Because like all I'm saying is sometimes it's a narrative. People put stuff out there like gaslighting.
Right.
If it's true, tell us. Let me know. Or at least just tell me the base. But it's just no different than somebody saying, because like here's an example. It's like a pot calling the kettle black. When somebody say, well, the reason why we're focusing on beards because there are a lot of airmen walking around with beards with no shaving waiver. And then somebody said, that's cap. Give us names. Because it could be gaslighting. It's no different than this, right? The same thing.
I mean, just like, wasn't there a general that said that he wanted to coin somebody, but only people without beards?
Yeah, that was the individual. His name was on there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was a chief. Yeah,
that's crazy. But anyway, all right, y'all ready to go? Because this has been a long show. It's supposed to be an hour.
Filthy animals. All y'all in the comment section, y'all to be ashamed of yourselves. Wash y'all mouth out with soap. Give yourselves all a letter of reprimand. Shame
I love
on
the
you.
comments. Thank y'all for giving.
Thank you, Jess. We love all y'all comments. Thank you for keeping the show lively and together and keeping people on points. It's crazy.
I'm gonna go take a shower. I feel dirty. I feel dirty. And I'm gonna look outside, see somebody's waiting for me outside. Yeah.
The rain.
All right, we'll be back on Sunday afternoon, so we can get Dell on here. So he's in good old America, we can get him on here. But love for y'all to join us again Sunday afternoon. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate all the comments.
Sunday's the corner.
Yeah.
So all you juicy commenters out there, is your opportunity to actually get on camera. But I would imagine after today, you probably won't.
Tony,
feel free if you do.
Tony Bostic,
call him out.
We're gonna need you to be there, Olivia.
Sharma Haynes.
Yes, ma'am. Come on.
Man.
Wayne, happy and sharp.
Well, you just got a job. You might not want to do that.
Wait,
just
my
got a
bad.
job, you know.
Oh, congratulations. Yeah.
He's
Congratulations.
just going to a new wing. You might not want to do that.
Look, she said, what?
Yeah, I forgot. Sharp, invite me to your retirement whenever you decide.
I'm so,
It's nothing on this side, sir.
oh, he retired? But Sharma, what time we going on? It's what time did he say? 12? 12.
No, he said 2.
2 your
You
time.
mean 2 my time.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, 12.
12
your
Mountain
time.
Standard,
So
2
2 my time, I guess.
Central, 3
Yeah.
East Coast, 11 Hawaii time. I can't do the rest. That's about as far as I can go.
What about BPT?
I don't know what that is.
Black people
thought you
time.
PBL. I'm like,
Fatality.
Zing.
look, I didn't heard my 10-year-old just let's stick with the new, what is it? The new song with Sexy Red. Bruno Mars. She was like, Mom, can you believe Bruno Mars just tarnished his reputation like that? And I was like, why? I said, what's going on? She's like, I don't want to say it. You don't know the new name of the song? She was like, Mom, it's just, Mom, listen. And when I listened, I was like, oh my God, they played this on the radio.
What was it? What did it say? What did it say?
You never heard the Sexy Red Bruno Mars song? Yeah, look it up
No.
yourself. Yeah, look it up yourself.
I ain't gonna be talking about me, but it's on, iTunes, Spotify, but it's called Catchy Wet. I was like, oh my God.
Is this the same girl that had that one song?
She had a lot
I don't
of
want to
songs.
say it.
That's my baby daddy.
It's related to pound cake. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her.
That's a
Yeah,
filthy
But
song.
that one, I was just like, oh my
That's
God.
a filthy
gosh.
song. Oh Lord, help me.
The world is evolving. Pete.
The world
I'm
is
going
evolving
to church
100%.
Sunday. Yeah.
Keep up.
Yes.
Keep up.
I'm going to church on Sunday.
Can you read that, Philly?
What? I can't see it.
Oh,
See
sorry.
what?
Hold on.
Let's see. What the?
Thank you, girl.
Shay, you, as soon as we get off, Shay, you close the door and you pull your Bible out. Shay, pull your Bible out, Shay. Pull your Bible out. Pull your Bible out and start praying.
Everybody give you her
Shame on
greatest
you.
Right.
Shame on you, Shay.
She about to be
Shame on
stopping
you.
traffic. Out there stopping traffic.
Shame on you. Shame on you, Shay.
We're not doing that because I don't need that memory in my head when I go to
Gucci. Oh Lord. He's holy water. What is going on?
Everyone pray for Shay. We pray for Shay.
Oh,
Pray for Shay.
All right, we up out here for real. We'll put the reminder out there for the show again, as we did today. So I'll get on that tomorrow.
Shay, TD
Yeah, we'll
Jakes
see
comes on at 12 o'clock on Sundays.
TD?
I would hope you would watch.
Wasn't he
TD
hanging
Jakes.
out with Jay-Z?
I'm hanging up now. You freaking heathen. You heathen.
Wasn't he hanging out with?
You heathen.
Wasn't he hanging out with P Diddy or Jay-Z or somebody?
You heathen.
into the Potter's house.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lord. Oh,
see?
Lord. Oh, Lord. Somebody black my camera out. Oh, Lord, Shay, please. Lord, have mercy. Shay, stop it, please.
That's cr-
The comments and the
Hey,
words
Charles,
expressed
that
by our
symbol is
listeners does not
that
reflect.
emoji is not
Philly,
for
DC.
holy water. That
Charles
emoji
Davis,
has never
please
been
don't
used
join
for-
in.
That emoji
Oh,
has
Lord.
never been used for holy water ever. Ever.
Oh, good point, Pete. Charles Davis, that's not the emoji for holy water. No,
That
it's
is
not.
not the emoji for holy
You
water at all.
all freaking heathens. Oh, Lord have mercy. I feel so dirty right now. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Whoa.
Oh, God.
Whoa. What is going-
Hey, she ain't lying. That is one of his sermons.
Whoa.
I can't help it. Swallowed.
Pause.
Swallowed.
Whoa.
Did Chris Brown make fun of him and do that?
That is crazy. Oh, y'all
Lord
heard my
Jesus, help
cheeks.
me.
All right,
Oh, Lord
pause.
have
Whoa,
mercy.
y'all heard my facials.
Oh,
That was crazy.
you walked right into that one.
You know what?
Perhaps,
Where's Simpson?
Yeah, that's what I want to
perhaps
do.
you was at a P. Diddy party, Pete.
Oh my goodness.
We find some baby oil.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, God, have mercy. Oh,
What the
God.
hell's
have mercy.
home in the sky?
I don't want to know. I don't know. This
Just
show
must
taking a
know.
drastic turn.
Just must know. What's home in the sky?
It's time to go.
Yes.
All right.
No,
right.
yeah.
I'll let y'all. Unpopular celebrities, we out. Peace.
Say I expect a 10-word essay on blessing, Shay. 10-word essay on Sunday. Good Lord.
All right, we off. Golly,
good
what
Lord.
just
I took a
happened?